Hello and welcome back. In this Fusion360 tutorial, we'll be making this part over here. This is a multi-view part project that we'll be doing. So this will be on the intermediate scale of parts. So if you look through some of the tutorial videos for these parts, you'll notice beginner or intermediate at this point. I haven't done any advanced yet, but we will get into that. And it's intermediate because there's quite a bit of geometry going on in here, different things that you kind of have to work out. But the first thing you kind of want to do is visualize the shapes that you're going to be using. So right off the bat, I know I'm going to be using circles, right? So there's 1, 2, 3 discs here, and then extruded from this disc, the first disc is a box. We're going to extrude like a rectangular box from this disc to go up to here, and then we'll extrude another circle off that box, and then we'll extrude this circle all the way down to make the cylinder where the pipe would probably clip in, or something like that. Some things that you want to pay attention to are the 3 times, so this 3 times mark, right? And this circle, this construction circle, so tells you where those are. And they're at 120, so that means that they're equally spaced. 120 times 3 is 360. Then the other part you want to pay attention to is the depth of this hole in this cylinder, and that is 1.5 inches, which will take us all the way back to the middle point of this hole. And since this hole does not have a depth, we are going to assume that it goes through the entire part. So with that knowledge, feel free to give this a whirl. I'm going to go over how I'm going to do it step by step, and then I'll obtain a mass so that you have something to compare it to. So first things first, create a sketch. First things first, I gotta make sure I'm in the right dimensions, which I'm not, and I want to save, make sure this is saved. So clip release, and my units are going to be in inches, and now I can start. So create a sketch. I'm going to work from the top plane, and I'm just going to start creating some circles here, some discs. So the first one is 2.5 inches. Dimension that. 2.5. And then extrude it. E for extrude. And then the depth, or the, yeah, I'll call it the depth or the thickness, is 0.0625. So it's a relatively small part here. And then from here, I'm going to extrude another disc. And I'm going to choose the top there, circle. This one is 2 inches, and I can extrude it. And I am going to extrude this. So since we're not given more information on the depths of this, we're just going to assume that it is 0.0625. Because normally, if it wasn't, they would let us know. They would give these individual, because there's symmetry going on in here, and to break that without telling us, that would just be poor on their part. So we're going to make that assumption, 0.0625. Click in here. I mean, we could also do the math, right? Yeah, so we could figure out the space in between, but that's not necessary. Another circle, and this is going to be 1 inch. E for extrude. Join. I'm not creating a new body here. And again, 0.0625. So we look good. We look good. Alright, so now I'm going to, I guess I can get these holes out of the way. So that's going to be a pattern too that I'm going to use. So I'm on the second step there, so create a sketch, click the second step, and then I'm going to create a circle, but I want a construction circle. So I'm going to click there, click here, dimension that out, and that is 1.57. And now I'm going to create a circle that is here. Oh, I do not want a construction circle. This one is going to be my hole. And I am making the assumption here that this is directly in line with the quadrant of the middle hole, so the top quadrant. So this, I'm making the assumption that it's directly above here, because again, I don't have any other assumptions I can make. And this dimension, this dimension is going to be 0.3125. And if it's not black, right, sometimes we can create a construction line that will kind of snap things into place and define it. So now it knows where it's lined up with this vertical line. So good. So now from here, oh, that's not right. This isn't right. Yeah, see, it is tricky because I was focused on this hole over here, but this hole actually has all the required information. And I was looking at that 0.3125. That's actually the height from this box we're going to make, this rectangle, to the top of the hole. So this is actually 0.125. That looks better. Alright, now from here we're going to create a circular pattern. I'm going to select this circle and select the center point. And I'm going to make 3, and that looks good. I don't know, why did they... Oh, so it just took the part. Okay. It only took the point, because I only selected the point. Alright, so go back here, circle pattern, object, zoom in here. I'm clicking on the circle. Now I select the point. Okay, that looks much better. 3, and angular spacing, so full. Full is the same thing as equal. So I could actually put in 120, right? But that's going to be the same thing, because 120, again, times 120 times 3 is 360. So that is indeed full. Now I am going to extrude these holes. I'll click on these holes. And it's actually going to be cut, and distance is going to be all, and then I'm going to flip it, And OK. F6 to zoom in like that. And, oops, go on to the top. Alright. Cool. So now we have this middle piece we have to make. And how I'm going to do it is I am going to select this this face down here. I'm going to extrude it to the halfway point of this circle, right? And I'm going to extrude it to this height here. So we're going to have to do a little bit of math. We're just going to add together these two steps. So these two steps are 0.0625, 0.0625, and then we're going to add a 0.3125 to get to this point here. Start a sketch, click here, and let's start with a line. Yeah, so let's start like this. Make a line out like that. Come down, another line. Actually, we want it here, like that. So now, this needs to be the midpoint. So let's make that the midpoint. Midpoint. There we go. So click this line, click that point, and now that is indeed the midpoint. So now we have to dimension this out, and the length is going to be 1.2, and this width is going to be 0.5. And now we're going to extrude it. Extrude. And actually, before I do that, I'm actually just going to complete the circle. So rather than have it like so, I'm gonna complete the circle and make this have a round here on the end. So I'm going to double click back into Sketch. Oop, cancel out of Extrude. Automatically brings me back into Sketch. So circle, then go from here, and then go out. And now I'm gonna get rid of. I can get rid of this circle, or I can just leave it. Doesn't matter. I'll just leave it. So E for extrude, and I'm going to click on this. This, and this. Okay, so I am going to not cut, but join. And this is where I need to do my math, right? I'm starting here, so I need to add 0.0625, 0.0625, and then I need to add 0.3125. So 0.0625 plus 0.0625 plus 0.3125. Enter. And it looks good. So now, on top of this piece, I need to extrude the circle, this pipe out a little bit more. Sketch, circle, E for extrude. This is going to be 0.3125. Looks good. Alright, we're getting there. Create another sketch out in front here. So I'm not worrying about the holes yet. circle, midpoint, that point. Notice how it's fully defined because I only referenced the part, which is also fully defined. And now I'm going to extrude, select the top part there. I mean, I could select the whole thing, but it might give me a warning or something. So leave it at that. And the distance, so I know the distance is going to be negative. It's going to be going in this direction. So negative 1.5. Uh-oh. Oh, it needs to be extruded in two directions, right? It's kind of we have a train-looking shape here, so we need to choose another distance, right? So one side, we're actually going to do this two-sided. Then I'm gonna click on both of these, and this is going to be in the positive 0.3 direction. Join distance. Oh, what's going on here? You know, let me just start this over again. I think something weird was happening. Alright, extrude. I'm going to select both sides. Alright, this is going to be my 0.3, and then two sides. Alright, so then this is going to be the negative 1.2. And it's not going to be, it's going to be joining. Huh. Oh. Never mind. That's funky. Okay, so what was happening, right, is I was putting negative, assuming I was going, it was calling this positive, but it's positive if it's pointing in that direction, right? So okay, so that was that. So if the line is pointing, it's negative wherever. It's not the orientation of the part. It's actually where this extrusion line is pointing that makes it negative or positive. Okay, so now we're good. Okay, now we only got two more things to do, right? Yeah, we need to hole from the top and then a hole from the front. So we'll start from the front of our train looking shape here. In the center, dimension that out, and that is 0.375, and extrude it, and select our, this is going to be a cut, and we are going to cut. So now I need to put it negative, right, because the arrow is pointing toward us. So negative 1.2 or 1.5, excuse me, 1.5. Alright, okay. I got that hole, so now we're going to cut clean through here. Sketch, top, circle, dimension that out, and that's going to be 0.375, and we're going to extrude it, E, and again we're going to be going in the negative direction, cut, but we're just going to put this through all, and I'm going to flip that so that it actually cuts through. Okay, and there you have it. You have your clip release. Okay, so from here I'm going to assign a material. And I will assign aluminum. So we'll go to, we normally choose aluminum or stainless steel because that's what's commonly used. Alright, aluminum, and now to get the mass properties, I'm just going to click again on this body and properties, and the mass is 1.209 ounce. So that's what you should get if you assign the material as aluminum and you followed along with what I've done here. So good luck, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Alright, thank you. Good luck.